A huge warm welcome to the art vlog with me, George Dobermine. It's a wet night in London and I can't wait to get inside the dry of the National Gallery to explore the Lucian Freud show entitled New Perspectives. Lucian Freud is often seen as one of the closest modern British artists to the old masters, so it's rather apt that he's going to be shown in the main galleries in 8 rooms of this venerable building behind me, and I imagine we'll be able to contrast him as we come out with some old masters. Lucian Freud has been shown quite a bit in Britain over the last few years, including in Liverpool and at the Royal Academy. So this isn't kind of like a once-in-a-generation show, but it promises to bring us 60 paintings, many from private collections. For me personally, the jury's still out on Lucian Freud, and I'm still sort of making up on my mind after seeing him many times what I think about him. So I'm hoping this show, which promises a new perspective, will help us a bit and help me a little bit. Anyway, this show is on until the 22nd of January, and I have to say, normal tickets are quite expensive. It's £24 Monday to Friday and £26 on a Saturday and Sunday. Now that is steep, bearing in mind, as I say, this isn't a kind of once in a generation show. As a British artist with lots of work, he is shown quite a bit in the UK. It's not like the Raphael exhibition, which was £24 earlier in the year. Having said that, on a Friday after 5:30 until 9 o'clock, there's a special deal, I think, in recognition of the cost of living crisis, where you can pay what you can, and the minimum price is £1. Now I have to say, these are quite booked up. As you can imagine, they're incredibly popular. But if you are wanting to see some art at a reasonable price, what a great deal. And I'm sure there'll be some tickets on later, so do have a look on the website. Anyway, I'm really interested. This is the National Gallery's big autumn and winter blockbuster, alongside the Winslow Homer show. Do check out my vlog. So come and join me as I take you inside this show, give you a few highlights, and let you make up your mind if this is a show that you would like to come and see. To be honest, right, you might notice it's light behind me because I've actually had to come back and have another look at the show and have another think before sharing my thoughts. I would always say the art vlog is not so much about being art critics as reviewing shows. We're show critics. However, artistically, there were two things which I absolutely loved. Firstly, the thrill of seeing Freud move from his early period of tight control of the brush to the much more expansive brushstrokes which you can see here of his mature period was really lovely to see. Just have a look at some of these examples. Secondly, I loved how he stripped the people that he was painting down in his portraits. All are treated the same, from a benefit supervisor to a multimillionaire. Two of my favourites were actually of the two barons that you can see here, including Baron Rothschild, both intimately linked to art, but both kind of massively introverted. And what we learn, obviously, is not exactly new, is that Freud is one of our greatest portrait painters in the world in the second half of the 20th century. Yeah, and I love this. I love the way that he gets to the heart and the nub of those people. Many of the great works are here, gathered under the high ceilings of the National Gallery's main building. And that was brilliant to see as well. However, there are some missing, like benefit supervisor resting or benefit supervisor sleeping, considered by Freud to be his greatest pieces, so I was a bit disappointed by that. And I was also a bit discombobulated by some of the themes. It starts off broadly chronological about early Freud and becoming Freud as a painter, which was great. But then some of the themes are a bit random, like flesh or power or art of the studio. And so I found that the show wasn't that cohesive overall. The new perspective element was about stripping back the biography from Freud and getting us to look just at the works, and that worked reasonably well. Overall, I give this show a 7 out of 10. There were some magnificent works by Freud, but some of them were missing. And for me, £24 in the week, £26 is too much for an artist that has been shown as widely in recent years. And it's, in fact, there's a little show at the Freud Museum now. But I massively compliment the National Gallery for the pay what you can after 5:30 on a Friday. And if it was my advice, this is when I would come. I would come at this time to see this show because it is really worthwhile. It wasn't quite the all-encompassing blockbuster that I was hoping for. Do remember to subscribe to the Art Vlog, hit that notification bell for more reviews and previews of upcoming shows. I'm going to be back at Tate Modern exploring the new Turbine Hall installation very soon. And do remember to get out there and keep on exploring the wonderful UK art scene.